54 this morning. So he had a whole day to keep himself busy on site. In terms of the action, I said the weather had been a little bit iffy. It meant we had a couple of rain delays. There's still an awful lot of tennis taking place. And one match that was not delayed because it was under the roof, but has only just finished, was Alina Svitolina, the wife of Gael Monfils. Such experience on the Susan Lenglen court. Karolina Pliskova against Alina Svitolina. So many twists and turns. Svitolina coming from a set down to get the win. A really good win against a fine performance from Pliskova. But it was interesting that afterwards she spoke to Alex Corretja and explained why she had to leave the court pretty quickly.
Yes, for sure. I need to hurry up.
We need to go. Okay, let's go watch Gael Monfils. Congratulations, Alina Svitolina. Qualify for the second round here at Roland-Garros. Thank you so much.
Merci.
I mean, she was away from that microphone and she was gone. She's still got all her media commitments to carry out. Then she can settle down for the evening match. Now, when the draw was made for Roland-Garros, the one tie, the one match that stood out above all the rest was Rafa Nadal, the 14-time champion, knowing he would face one of Carlos Alcaraz or Sasha Zverev. It would be the German. It would be a repeat of the 2022 semi-final here, where Zverev was injured and couldn't continue. 11th meeting between the two. Now, Nadal, speaking in Madrid, said, if I feel like this, I won't go to Paris. He worked hard to get himself here. By contrast, Sasha Zverev comes into Roland-Garros as the Rome champion. So we have for you, we're going to hear from both of them, but we have for you the story of how the match unfolded.
Et première manche, Zverev. Et deuxième manche, Zverev. Nadal. Zverev. C'est les matchs Zverev. 3 manches à 0, 6-3, 7-6, 6-3.
I've watched Rafa play all my childhood, and I was lucky enough to play Rafa when I became a professional. Was lucky enough to play him 2 times on this beautiful court. And I don't know what to say. Today is not my moment, it's Rafa's moment. So thank you. I'm not going to speak much. I'm going to give it to Rafa.
Merci, Sasha. Thank you.
So congratulations to Sasha Zverev, who books his place in round 2. Now, there were no plans for Rafa Nadal to speak should he lose today's match. He didn't want a fuss or anything made of it because he hasn't categorically said that this will be his last time at Roland-Garros. But tournament director Amelie Mresme made her way out onto court at the end of the match. She had a few words with Nadal and persuaded him to speak to the crowd. So here for you is a little of what he had to say.
You know, it's difficult for me to talk. I don't know, it's going to be the last time that I'm going to be here in front of all of you. Honestly, I am not 100% sure, but if it's last time, I enjoy it. No, the crowd have been amazing during the whole week of preparation, and today. Yeah, the feelings that I have today are difficult to describe in words, but for me it's so special to feel the love of the people the way that I felt in the place that I love the most. So, merci beaucoup à tout le monde.
But the good news is he did go on to say that he hopes to be back on Philippe Chatrier later in the year because, as you know, the Olympics are being held here and the tennis event is just the back end of July. So hopefully we will see Rafa Nadal at Roland-Garros once again. Now, 48 matches on today's order of play. Still a lot to be completed, but a lot of players are back in the locker room with the wins under the belt. So here for you is a little bit of a look back on Monday's action. And let's start with Jannik Sinner. All eyes on the right hip. It was his first match since pulling out of his quarterfinal in Madrid because of the problems with his hip. He went back to Italy. He had scans. He said it wasn't a problem. And with that win over Chris Eubanks, a comfortable win, he's extended his Grand Slam winning streak this year to 8-0. He has lost just twice this season. Against Alcaraz in the Indian Wells semi-finals, Tsitsipas in the Monte Carlo semi-finals. He's still only 22. He could end Roland-Garros as a new world #1, and afterwards he spoke on court with Marion Bartoli.
I'm obviously happy about what I have achieved in the last months, this year. But you know, our goal is to improve every day. That's for me more important. I know that I have to improve some things, so I'm happy that I have my team. They push me every day, and let's see what I can achieve in the future. And also, you know, being happy on the court, which is maybe the most important. And I truly enjoy to play tennis, so I'm very happy to be here. And again, thanks everyone for the support, and see you next round.
Well, we will see you next round. It was an absolute pleasure.
Following Jannik Sinner on court, where Stefanos Tsitsipas, the 9th seed, up against Marton Fucsovics. Tsitsipas, runner-up here in 2021, having a great season on the clay. This would be his 14th win on the dirt, just the 3 defeats. Along the way, he's picked up his 3rd Monte Carlo title, reached the final in Barcelona. Now 25 wins for the year. He did, though, save a set point in the first set, which is why when he was speaking to Mats Wilander after the match, having booked his place in round 2, he did highlight and speak of the importance of winning that first set.
After clinching the first set, it kind of felt like I started getting the momentum of the match, and my shots were suddenly deeper and with much more acceleration than before. So getting a hold of that first set, I feel like was the biggest moment today in the match, and I played brilliant tennis towards the end. I felt really confident with my shots, with any decision that I was trying to apply into the court. It worked brilliantly, so really happy to, in a way, to insert myself in that sort of way out there.
Disappointment for the Frenchman Arthur Fils. Now, this is the first time Fils has been seeded at a Grand Slam. He was number 29, but he came up against the Italian Matteo Arnaldi, who has beaten him in their previous 2 meetings, most recently in Miami this year, before that the US Open last year. Fils, who came in with the Bordeaux Challenger title, so full of confidence, would take a set, as you saw there, but it would be with the Italian just in his 2nd Roland-Garros appearance, who would get the win and book his place in the 2nd round. Now, he beat Denis Shapovalov at Roland-Garros on his debut last year. A quite epic point to finish things off, but it would go the way of the Italian. Reached the quarterfinals on the clay in Barcelona. He's still a young man, Matteo Arnaldi. That will go down as a really good win. Good friends, the two of them. They've grown up together. And he gets the job done in 4 sets, and he is through to the 2nd round. Here we have for you Ben Shelton against Hugo Gaston. It would be the Frenchman who took the first set, as you can see there. But Ben Shelton, what a rise. He's 21 years of age. He's the 15th seed. He broke the top 20 as recently as September last year. He's already got a couple of career titles to his name. It is his first time in the Roland-Garros second round. And would you believe, having come through against Hugo Gaston in the second round, he will face the veteran in Kei Nishikori, who played 4.5 hours and 5 sets to book his place in the second round. A match we look forward to. And Felix Auger-Aliassime is coming into some form. We have to remember the Canadian is still young at 23, had a whole lot of problems with his body last year. So a really good win, straight sets against a tricky player in Yoshihito Nishioka. Remember Auger-Aliassime, runner-up in Madrid this year. But it's his first win, would you believe, at Roland-Garros since 2022. And I actually got to speak to him in Madrid, and he said, I know I'm young, I know I've got time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I just need to get myself ready and know I can get back on track. So good win for the Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime. Now, before we take a look at the women's draw, we're keeping an eye on our night session players who will be due out on court in just a few minutes' time. So we're going into the gym. Monfils was in the gym at 6:58. Remember, he didn't arrive till 12 minutes past 6. Very relaxed, very comfortable. Looking forward to walking out onto Philippe Chatrier. By contrast, the Brazilian #1, he's been here since nearly 10 o'clock this morning. He was in the gym at 10:41. He's trying to think of ways to fill his time until he walks out on court. But good news for him is they're going to be walking out very shortly. Before we get to that match, let's find out how things panned out in the women's draw today, starting with the defending champion and world #1 Iga Świątek up against the qualifier Leolia Jean-Jean. And it was just 3 games lost for Iga Świątek, unbeaten on Philippe Chatrier since 2021. She's now on 29 of her first 31 matches at Roland-Garros, a 15th consecutive win at Roland-Garros. I mean, the numbers are incredible. A 13th consecutive win on clay. She's got 39 wins for 2024. She has over 11,000 points as the world #1, a gap of 3,500 points to the second player in Arina Sabalenka. And next up, she faces Naomi Osaka in round 2. So let's have a little listen in to the world #1 speaking in her press conference after booking a place in round 2.
Yeah, for sure. These last tournaments gave me a lot, and I managed to play good tennis in any conditions and under any circumstances. So I'm really proud of myself. But for sure, even though I feel pretty confident, I don't want to take anything for granted. Every tournament is a different story and different chapter. So I'm trying to really focus only on the next round and do everything step by step.
Having a little chat on court, working well for Iga Świątek. On Jabeur, the 8th seed, hasn't had the best of seasons, hasn't played that many matches due to a knee problem, but 5 of her 7 wins this year have come on the clay. Best results, one of them was quarter-final in Madrid. Her best result at Roland-Garros was a quarter-final showing last year. So just 16 matches played in 2024, coming up on Jabeur, defending an awful lot of points with that final showing in Wimbledon. So a good win over Sasha Vickery, the wildcard, coming through for the loss of just 5 games. Coco Gauff, the 3rd seed. Now, she moves to 5-0 in first round at Roland-Garros. Remember, she was the runner-up here in 2022, the year she got to the final in the doubles alongside Jessica Pegula. She won Auckland at the start of the year. Her tally for 2024 is 26 match wins, and she was up against the qualifier Yulia Avdiva, who's 208 in the world, making her Grand Slam debut. Just a couple of games dropped by Coco Gauff. Just too much experience on show and a good business-like performance from Gauff. Marketa Vondrousova, the Wimbledon champion and runner-up here in 2019. She's been going through a few things off court, but really picking up now on the court. She reached the semi-finals in Stuttgart, then she won a match in Madrid, won one in Rome, won one in Strasbourg. So a good win, comfortable win. It's one of the first wins, actually, of the day against Rebecca Masarova. Last year, she lost in the second round, so she knows that she has defended those points. 'Cause remember, as tennis players, they're constantly thinking of the points they have to defend, and she also has a lot coming up in the summer. Jasmine Paolini, what a season she is having. Daria Saville just there in your picture. Jasmine Paolini, the second Grand Slam she has been seeded. She is the 12th seed. Now, the Italian is 8th in the race to the finals in Riyadh at the end of the year, and she's the only player this season to win a WTA 1000 singles, that was in Dubai, and most recently a doubles, and that was in Rome. She's having an absolutely cracking 2024. Jasmine Paolini, she goes from strength to strength, and she moves through to round 2. Someone else who's having a cracker of a year is Danielle Collins. Her last season on tour, whatever she says happened. I will be retiring at the end of the year. She's won Miami, she's won Charleston, runner-up recently in Strasbourg. In her last 26 matches, she's lost just 3, and she's actually the tour leader when it comes to clay court wins with 16. So she's got 1 more than the world number 1 Iga Świątek, and she is the name, she is the person in the draw that nobody wants to come up against. Danielle Collins through to round 2. That's a nice selfie. Congratulations to all the winners through so far today. Now, we like to bring you our moment of the day, and I normally say you might agree or disagree with the one that we have chosen because there's a lot to choose from. But I think we're all going to agree today that this is the perfect choice as it comes off the racket of the King of Clay. I think we might disagree on some of the moments of the day throughout the course of the 15 days, but we're all going to agree on that one. Right, live tennis for you now. The action continues. We're heading to the beautiful Court Simone Mathieu, where we find Maria Sakkari taking on the French player Varvara Gracheva. And you can see there Sakkari with the first set, now under the guidance of David Witt. Said she's feeling a lot more confident, but it's going to a third. Gracheva has dug in. Look at that from the camp. Very happy with Gracheva's turnaround in that second set. And she takes them to a decider. Still to come on that court, for the people on that court, they've got Daniil Medvedev, and they've still got another set of Maria Sakkari and Varvara Gracheva. You can follow all the results on the official website, also by tuning into Radio Roland-Garros, where we'll keep you across everything. Now, if you've had a stressful day, you're back from work, maybe you've put the children to bed, you just want to relax and unwind, and we might have something that help, or it might do the complete opposite, because on Media Day this year, some of the world's best players tried their best at honing their ASMR technique, and this is how it went.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Carlos. Welcome to
ASMR RG.
Vamos.
Champs-Élysées.
Paris. Fromage. Croissant. Baguette.
Pain et chocolat.
Philippe Chatrier. J'aime Roland-Garros et Paris.
15 love.
Idemo.
Game, set and match.
Wow. I don't know about you, but I found a few of those a little bit unsettling, and you can see more of those if you follow our official social media channels. Now, when you think of a night session, you think of late night drama, entertainment, fun, which is exactly what we have for you this evening. Now, for a second time, but a first since 2021, that was on the clay in Lyon. Gael Monfils will take on the Brazilian #1, Thiago Seyboth-Wild. They're in the tunnel now. They'll be heading out very shortly. So before they do, let's dig a little bit deeper into the two players who you're going to see in action on Philippe Chatrier this evening.
I've watched him play my whole life. I mean, he's just an idol for me.
Will be a tough one as well. Tough player, tough clay court player. I'll be there, and you know, I will give everything that I have.
I think you're just about all set for the night session. Just let me tell you that in tomorrow's night session, it features Novak Djokovic. Cannot wait for that. Another bumper day of action to come. Hopefully the weather is going to play ball. But this is what we've been waiting for, the final match on Philippe Chatrier. It is the night session, and I will leave you as the players are welcomed out onto Philippe Chatrier, and we'll see you at the same time tomorrow. Bye for now.
Le premier joueur entré sur le court est 58e mondial aujourd'hui. Il a remporté un tournoi dans sa carrière. Il va disputer son deuxième Roland-Garros. Il est brésilien, Thiago Seyboth-Wild.